Hello, everybody. It is I, Artificial Deluxe here. Welcome to 80s Advertisements, Season 2, Episode 7. Today, Tippers will be taking a break from co-hosting, but I still have a co-host here that could help me out with this. So, give a welcome to Quicksand Queen.
Yo! Howdy, everyone. Did you miss me? I mean, my last appearance was in the finale of Season 1, so it hasn't been terribly long, but even so. Yes, but the Queen is here for a third time, and they always say third time's the charm, so this is obviously going to be the best episode.
Yeah, that's true. All right, I'm going to be posting the... Oh, wow, we already got 11 people watching. Thanks, guys. All right.
Yeah.
I'm just going to announce everyone in the server, and then we will get started.
Alrighty.
So, Quicksand, how does it feel to finally come back?
Feels great. I enjoyed it the first 2 times, and I hope to enjoy it even more with this episode. We got a lot of special things happening today.
Now, before we hit on that, cue the intro.
I should be in that spot, but okay.
All right, yeah, just give me a minute.
Oh, damn, okay, AD is gone. If you'll excuse me, I'll be taking over the podcast now. So, I didn't have a follow-up plan after taking over, so, I guess just, I don't know, drop a like, everyone, come on. Let's get... I don't have any plans for this. Oh my gosh.
Sorry about that, folks. Oh. All right, let's get
I didn't do anything.
Of course you didn't, Quicks. Whoopsies. All right. Now, before we continue, I just want to say both of these guests are, I guess you could say, well known. The first guest here is the voice actor of Knife from Inanimate Insanity. Please welcome Justin.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. Oh, this is so exciting. Yeah, that's me. I'm the guy who works on Inanimate Insanity. I write, I voice act, all the silly voices in the world, mine.
Yay!
All right, and our next guest is the voice actor of Fan from Inanimate Insanity. So please welcome Brian.
Hello! Oh my gosh. The thought of us being well known is truly upsetting, but yes.
I mean, it's that bad.
I didn't expect to get that big of a reaction, but I'm happy I did. Yes, as was said, I am Brian, Inanimate Insanity guy. I is directing, writing, editing, voicing, and all of that fun stuff. And it's a pleasure to be here. Very, very exciting.
Yeah.
Yes, it is going to be fun having you guys here. Now, for everyone in the chat, if you guys have any questions for Brian and Justin, then ask away.
Yeah, go ahead, ask them. We don't have all day, unfortunately, but like, use the time you have right now to ask whatever you want. Just nothing weird, obviously.
Yeah,
or actually, I don't even know if it's that obvious to the 10-year-olds that are in the chat, but even so, just...
All right, let's see.
If you're gonna ask something weird, ask it to Brian specifically.
Well, the thing is, we don't know what weird questions these people possess. So,
True.
All right,
truly.
So the first request is for Justin. Can you do your knife voice, please?
Okay, wow. Fantastic. Anything for you, Tony? Yo, yo, yo! It's Knife in the house. This is how Knife talks, right?
Justin just combined his voice acting and writing skills right there. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you for that, Knife. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, it's pretty okay to be here.
That's a lot coming from him.
Yeah, no, he has pretty high standards.
He does.
I mean, it's Knife we're talking about, and we're on a live stream podcast thing, whatever you want to call it.
And as far as he's aware, he'd go, "Yep, that's me, the one and only Inanimate Insanity utensil."
As far as he's aware.
Okay. All right. We
Let's
got
see,
a
next
question asking for the both of you, do you like Sailor Moon or Steven Universe?
Well, we
Well-
definitely like one of them. Which is to say that we've seen one of them. We love Steven Universe. Justin has a fun party trick about Steven
She's
Universe.
incredible.
But Sailor Moon, I've not really seen. I know D absolutely loves it, so I hear a lot about it from D.
Yeah, no, I don't have much in the realm of Sailor Moon knowledge, unfortunately. I've only heard wonderful things, but yeah, Steven Universe is much more my wheelhouse.
Right. Same here.
I mean, from what I saw the other day, Justin and AD said they were going to have a competition on who was the bigger fan or whatever.
That's really
I
something to
wonder
look forward to.
Well,
Quite
if someone's gonna pose questions, trivia, like I don't know how to prove it, but the challenge is on. I'm very in.
Dang.
See, the minute I hit
Alright,
challenge, now I'm thinking object show.
Okay, next question, I guess.
All right, this question is from Sky High. Have you guys seen BFB 30? If so, then what do you think of it?
Oh, it was so wonderful. I really enjoyed. Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, I can say this. We watched with our good friend Sam, who wrote the episode, who's just an absolute delight. And yeah, I mean, he's just done an excellent job. But just in general, of so much respect, obviously, for what Jack and Jelfie have created. And I thought it was such a love letter to the show, and just really, yeah. So I also appreciated how much of it was about the idea of inspiration in general. Not to give anything away, I don't know if everyone's seen it yet. I'm assuming you have if you're watching this, but still, I think the theme was very resonant for what this community has become, and just what for BFDI, the franchise in general. Just wonderful finale.
Definitely. Oh, no, you can speak.
Thank you, I appreciate it. No, but all I was gonna say was and then talking about the themes of the finale, digging real deep into the respect you give towards others and the results that has in the world. The final two are a perfect exemplification of how to bring that about, and both their individual stories in the episode, but also it does a wonderful job of tying that theme together, which has been so incredibly prevalent throughout the entirety of post-split BFB. The moment two arrives, this feeling of inferiority or lack of being respected or loved or appreciated for what you do comes up, and it's tied through so tremendously throughout all the episodes that proceed and comes to a perfect 10 in the finale. I love 30.
Yeah, I really did win, didn't I? It's the perfect way to kind of cap things off.
Yeah, that was
heartwarming. Very heartwarming.
Definitely tugged at my heartstrings that episode. I was definitely getting really emotional towards the end, especially with the scene with Fiery and Leafy at the end when they were like going off to find their own dream island or whatever.
Perfect symmetry. With the original finale, yes.
There was chef's kiss. That's the best way I can describe it.
It's wonderful. And of course, we have to applaud Justin for being purple face and doing...
I was just about to say that.
to paraphrase X, doing the things that he does, is known to do. God,
was that next one? I was thinking, Balloony? Didn't Balloony say that? Or...
I thought, was it Balloony?
When he first runs off with the BFDI.
Maybe so. I might be conflating because I know Sam told me in advance that there was a line about regarding Purple Face and the way he sort of inserts himself into situations that Carrie said was one of his favorite, like maybe his favorite line. Let's put it in the show.
Oh, got it. Yeah, it was definitely one of the contestants, because X would have been off patting the ground adorably with Profiling. Well, Profiling would be later. I love Profiling. Profiling made the
Profiling just existed to me, but I definitely enjoyed their character in BFB 30.
Yes,
they're wonderful.
I love the way they threw the party and I did like that part so.
Yeah, it's another thing where it's all tying together. Like just as simple as, hey, throwing a little party for someone, showing how much you appreciate them. It goes a long way. It's nice.
Gelatin and Flour combining their businesses was also very nice.
Oh yeah, that was really nice.
And here's hoping that there's more in the way at some point one day.
Hope so. But in any case, it's a beautiful send-off for now or for however long they choose for that to be the case. Great stuff.
Now we got an
Indeed.
Insanity Invitational, so screw BFB.
No. I mean, that was so gracious.
We are working hard at it.
It was very gracious of them to say that, like, it's passing the torch. I mean, honestly, after seeing the beautiful spectacle that was that finale, and then, like, for us to then take from that and then be like, oh, yeah, well, then we'll be, an Insanity Invitation will be continuing. It's like, gosh, well, I mean, those are big shoes to fill, so hopefully people will enjoy.
So now we have to make it good. Dang it.
Yeah, we were going to make it bad.
Yeah, but knowing you
now
both,
we'll make it good.
you'll probably get it right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, speaking of
Alright,
II3, we have a question related to II3. So what is your favorite new characters in II3?
Oh no!
No, we can't pick we can't pick favorites of our children. But if I had
Favorite
to,
children?
no, I mean, look, we all, when we were starting the season, it sort of was a thing of me, Justin, Adam, and Taylor looking and trying to decide which were who we could come up with to bring into this new season, and it definitely was a goal of trying to like have a fresh approach, and at least from the angle of sort of setting that tone for something really fresh and weird. I'll give it up to the floor, which was the first character
Oh my
created.
god.
And it's purely from a very stupid conversation that we had really early on in development, where it was discussing, and this didn't even end up happening in the first episode. But originally, we were thinking maybe like the first person out does something just really like stupid and gross that makes everyone else upset, and like they like spit on the floor and everyone's disgusted. And then I was like, oh well, you know who'd be the most disgusted by that? The floor. Wait.
Oh
And
my
then we were
God.
like, maybe the floor. Yeah. And what I love about that is it just is something you look at it and you're like, that can't be a character, can it? Oh, wait, well, I guess it can't. Like, because when you're doing a show for 10 years, you got to do some weird stuff.
Yeah.
Keep it different.
Which, just a side question I have, who was the wise guy who created the floor?
I mean, I guess it's me in a sense, but it's sort of it's a group effort very much. And by all means, Sam's voicing definitely. I think we knew pretty early on that he should perform that character because we knew he could give it that nice deadpan, dry humor that he does so well.
Oh,
But Justin, do you have a favorite newbie?
I've been thinking about it throughout the time you were answering the question because I'm going back and forth between thoughts. And the same goes for like favorite voice. That's one that's always constantly in flux that I get asked about a lot. But I love Cabby.
Yeah,
I really love Cabby.
Cabby's a good character.
And I mean, it could just be a matter of upon conceit, there's a little more interiority to her character to play around with, and it might, and I think that kind of happens with and it definitely happened with early season 1, early season 2, where you want to make sure that everyone's gathering what on a very surface level these characters entail, and then building upon them from there. Like, I don't think, for instance, season 2, Microphone, I don't know if her story would be so prevalent if not for the fact that, you know, you start her off on obviously loud, as the microphone entails itself, but also how she is kind of isolated from the rest of her team, and how then that could be picked up later with everything regarding Taco. But you need that base personality that you could then twist later. And I think people undervalue the power of I see the phrase one note thrown around here and there, yeah? And not that this is me complaining about complaints, but it's just an interesting thought, because I think making sure that one key trait about a character out of, you know, a big cast where each of them can have their own like specific trait is very good to sell in a first episode, instead of trying to make a character so multidimensional that you're not quite getting the base point, or well, at least starting point of the character. It's so important to get that simplicity across right away. That all to say that Cabby is one character that very early on we knew beyond that first surface level trait of. So I think there is this growing towards it. But like then there's characters like Goo where I'm like, oh, you turned out cuter than I expected. This is good.
Yeah. Well, a lot of that comes
this
from
much I love.
right. A lot of that comes from the voice you brought to the character for sure.
Man,
But,
thank you.
with Cabby, I mean, it definitely, because I was trying to at least think of, because it's like, what objects could then we do that like haven't been done in general? And I was trying to think, like, I was really going through and being like, well, what in and of itself suggests the most, either like personality wise or ideologically? And I was like, oh, filing cabinet is so, because there's so much more than what they appear on the outside, which is very much a goal that we have with the characters in general. But like very literally speaking, with the filing cabinet, there's all these files within and like limitless opportunities for where then the character could go. And yeah, that was Casey, I think, brings a wonderful spirit to that character, really comes alive on screen. But I love all the new characters, which I was worried about. I was like, are we just going to feel like they're like sort of imposters, like you know, like just coming in after all these years of knowing the older ones? But no, I've quickly become endeared to them, and hopefully the people at home watching do as well.
Would be very interested to know what everyone in the chat's preferred newbies are.
I mean, if you want to hear mine, I freaking
Oh,
love
please.
Goo.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I love Goo.
Goo is my child, and I want to protect him.
Yeah.
And if he gets eliminated, I am going to throw Adam off the Statue of Liberty.
Was Adam on the Statue of Liberty?
Maybe. I don't know. I can make it happen.
Yeah,
Can you?
You don't know that, Edie. I can do whatever.
Well, listen, here's the thing. If that were to happen, we would all share blame. So I think we all have to be thrown off the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
But then
great.
you're also throwing the voice of Goo, and you said you're Goo Protection Squad, and that just kind of just doesn't make a lot of sense, you know?
Bit of a conflict of interest.
Ruh-roh.
Uh-oh.
Stop the
Oh,
show.
Quicksand's malfunctioning.
Technical difficulties.
QuickSandQueen.exe has stopped working.
Oh no.
All right. Let's see. Let's move on to our next question. How are you going to eliminate ground or four ground?
Yeah, well,
You'll see. You'll see if that ever happens. It has been discussed. Just purely so we would know what to do if that scenario arose.
I think it's fair to say that unlike season 2, which we had a little bit, at least come to the point where we're like switching to contestant, but we had a pretty good sense of where the lead, how the leaderboard would look. We're definitely playing it a little looser this time around.
Yeah.
We have stories in mind, but we are very open to the audience vote messing with those stories. So
Right.
you know, we want to keep it a good mix of things. That is to say, will the floor be eliminated? I don't know. If it is, I'm sure something fun will come of it.
Exactly. This was a question we asked ourselves in advance, just to be safe. And I'm delighted to see that people are curious themselves, because it does seem like it would be difficult. Yeah. Oh, the floor.
Alrighty. Quicksand, you have a question from the chat.
Oh, I do? Okay, then.
Yeah,
What
it
is
says, "How do you feel when Blueberry got out?"
I mean, Blueberry. Okay, I don't like Blueberry. I'll be honest.
That's fair.
I
That's fair.
mean, he kind of just existed in the episode as just that one character that had no motivation to do anything, only for him to be voted out first. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm glad it wasn't Life Ring because he seemed like a pretty interesting character. But like, I mean, when Blueberry got out, I was just like, okay, whatever. Like that's literally.
It is what it is.
To jump back to the character creation process and keeping it simple.
Yeah.
Upon Blueberry's pitch and us going, oh, maybe he would be good, because we pitched a lot of characters and then dwindled it down after that. But at the point we were saying Blueberry would be a good pick among that batch. The phrase "first boots" was attached to him pretty immediately.
Yes. Well, Justin, do you want to talk any more about the conception of Blueberry in the first place?
Oh, okay, sure. I mean, Blueberry was my mom's idea.
Yeah.
Huh.
I pitched many characters.
Uh,
But my mom specifically was like, "I know you're doing some character pitches today. Here's a few ideas I had." And one that stuck with me at least was her saying, "I would love there to be a Blueberry who's always feeling blue." And that was the whole pitch. I pitched characters with, like, that were a lot more full scope, had a lot more going on. But I guess sometimes simplicity sells.
it just made everyone laugh.
He's Blueberry's blue, a little. He's feeling blue at all times. A little Eeyore-esque, right?
Yeah.
But like, but everyone bought that one right away.
It just made everyone in the virtual room laugh.
That's interesting to learn that moms can create object shows too.
Oh god.
That could be a good show tagline.
Object shows need moms. Little Mars need moms.
Oh no!
Yeah, everyone in chat, you should totally go up to your mom
Guys,
or
let's-
dad or just parental guardian, whatever, and tell them to make an object show.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's
think,
great.
I don't think Tea Kettle was the exact same circumstance, but I know Adam wanted that like motherly presence, and
I had a
was
feeling.
hoping
I had a feeling that
upon
would
I
happen.
mean,
Tea
that's
Kettle was hoping
definitely-
for his mom to fill the role. What was
Yeah. Nope.
What were we saying before that?
What?
Maybe nothing. Well, in any case, Adam I'm sure could speak more to that. But yeah, it is very much there's a maternal quality to Tea Kettle as well. Moms are good. Hot take. There you go.
Well, it's a little spicy for this live stream.
I know. People aren't ready to hear that.
All right. Let's see. Although this question isn't for me, I do want to answer it as well, but it's kind of a short answer. Blueberry, in my opinion, kind of funny the first minute, and then afterwards, I'm like, okay, you didn't do anything. What is this?
Bringing it back to my like conversation about OneNote earlier, or at least about like tapping into a primary personality trait to then deconstruct later. With Blueberry, I get it. I get that.
Yeah.
The OneNote could be a little grating, but I think it all ultimately serves a purpose. And I think it's big to not throw away a super endearing character immediately.
I mean,
But because that just leaves for a lot of disappointment. Granted, people weren't a big fan of Tissues when he first got out. I'm not saying that he's crazy popular now either,
Right.
but people have definitely become more endeared to characters just on the basis of them not having been in the competition very long. So I mean, I'm curious to see how that changes with time.
Well, I saw the appeal as well in Blueberry when entering Indefinite Island. If it was because at first,
That's a
like
big
when
point. Yes.
when he came there in the original draft, it was just he's like kind of weirded out by it. But then I was like, no, he should say this place seems nice and like finally smile for the first time, and you get a sense of he's sort of found his bliss a little bit in his own way.
Yeah, and then I guess to close out the OneNote conversation, that's what it comes down to. You establish something quite simple, and then when it twists in some way, even in a little way like the Indefinite Islands, I think it pays off pretty well. That is my favorite Blueberry moment for sure.
Yeah,
because there's such a consistency to him up until that point.
yeah.
one thing I was gonna say earlier was that I was a bit worried when I first started watching the first episode of season 3, seeing all the new characters, because if you guys recall in season 2, since it was a viewer vote at the time, pretty much most of the new characters got cucked immediately. And I was worried that was going to happen again if this was going to be a viewer vote, that all the new characters would just get eliminated right off the bat. But now that it's since it's a contestant vote, I don't have to worry about that.
Mhm.
But like,
that was definitely much a goal for us, that we would try to make sure that there can be new characters that have their time to shine,
Yeah,
and that-
because I'd say there were numerous characters in season 2 that like they had some sort of arc going, only for it to be like cut off just midway before it could even reach a solid conclusion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
I mean-
Trophy and like Soap, I think, are pretty good examples where
Yeah.
to kind of be.
But I
halted a
mean,
little
what
bit.
did you guys think was going to happen when you put Trophy up for voting? What did you think?
Well,
was gonna
I mean, eventually you had to. you can't just be like he's not. It was similar with Knife in the first season when Adam just like held it off for as long as possible, but as soon as
Gave him immunity a few times. Yeah, right.
yeah, I went out of his way to give him, but as soon as they could, they got rid of him. Which, like, yeah, I mean, I will say at the very least, like, what was done with Trophy, like, even if it is a fairly quick and abbreviated arc, like, I mean, I wouldn't want it to just necessarily be more of the same that continues for however long. I'm happy with how everything ended up turning out, and part of that could just be it's weird to imagine it going a different way. But that said, I really love Soap and Trophy and Paper and all these other characters that may not necessarily be competing in this new season, but definitely are ones that we hope to continue to do stuff with. It very much was motivated by who people voted to be in the season.
I think I'm still
people
really.
wanted Box in,
They did.
Yeah, but Fox got voted in.
but literally why?
Fox wasn't even like the bottom of the list of people who got in.
Are
Yeah.
you serious?
No, yeah, we're serious.
Actually,
What has the OSC turned into?
also the newest animation epic video that I guess came out a few minutes ago.
It did.
So I recommend people check that out right when this is done. Maybe
Don't check it out now. This is more important.
But point being that the vote results are in that video.
They are. So you'll see exactly how many votes everybody got. And yes, I was certainly surprised to see that Box got that many. But that said, Box has quite a backstory, and I understand people want to see more of it.
Yeah. But Brian, just earlier you when you said you mentioned a few characters and you're like oh well, it's a shame that they may not be in the new season, and I had like one of those mini heart attacks that I guess I have because I'm like so used to keeping season 3 a secret for months. Right. That when you said that, I was like, Brian, you can't say that.
Oh my god, there's so many of those things. Like, I mean, when it was like, oh, there's aliens in episode 14. Like, there's there's a part of me that goes, can I say that? Oh yes, I can. Just because they've been secret for so long. I'm like, oh.
I think Brian and I are pretty naturally anxious people. At least I am. I guess I don't want to speak for Brian.
No, you can't.
Being on a show that has confidentiality rules, it definitely doesn't help with that. I'm more than fine to keep a secret, but like it's the process of like constantly going over your head what can be said and what can't be said when you're talking to non-crew people.
Yeah, well, we've never let anything slip, which I'm very proud of us for. And definitely you can speak for me and say that an anxious person. So very much accurate. There are still secrets that we are carrying that have been we've been carrying for years that we
Gosh, yeah. I mean
wait, so how
there's
long
gonna be some things that are gonna be like so tough to scrub off. Yeah.
Oh boy.
But wait, hold on. How long has the alien plot point been hidden for? Like since the
that would have been
like...
right around the start of season 2. So like
Are you
2013.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's fleshed out more as we spend time with it. But as soon as like we introduced, hey, there's an egg in Marsh on Mars, we knew that we started planning out how everything could go. And yeah, I mean, look, like the biggest thing, and part of why I did this was just to show that we do indeed plan things out this much, like long term, was the thing in episode 11 where Fan has his theory like about what could happen. Now the floodgates have opened for all sorts of chaos since the pattern is broken of teams winning, and it foreshadows what happens in that episode 12, episode 13, episode 14, because we knew what each episode would be. So it's just to show it takes a long time takes they've kind of become short films at this point from Inanimate Insanity too, which I'm very proud of. But we plan it out.
And some things even get rearranged because I know like for a while we were planning on maybe like the basic description of light bulb time travel adventure was theoretically going to be 9.
Oh, that was a good one.
I think Alien Invasion we had written down for maybe 10 at a point. There's a I'd like to do a video on this on the Animation Epic channel at some point where we go over the unused script for episode 5 being the journey to Meeple headquarters.
Oh right, yeah. No, that was a really big thing. The light bulb time travel. I mean, that was like a germ of an idea that came to me very early on, which is why you see in the literal first episode of the second season they bring up the time travel again, just because I wanted to lay down the seeds and remind viewers that it existed within the universe. And so it was just for a while. I was like, light bulb time travel. That's happened.
I mean, of course it existed because Marshmallow used her time machine thingy, like back in season 1 and never again.
Yes. Which there was going to be a more overt tie-in to that, but it just so happened that once we got to episode 12, that Marshmallow wasn't around, so we couldn't really like connect the dots on that as much. Because originally I had a gag in there of like, why don't we use Marshmallow's time machine? And then Marshmallow was like, it's too dangerous to mess with the fabric of time. Also, I like how the time machine looks next to my other remotes on my shelf.
It's a mini machine.
Yeah, it's a little remote. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right. Our last question for now is, what is your favorite and least favorite Steven Universe character?
I don't know about a least favorite. My favorite is easily Pearl. I'm a hardcore Pearl fan, but you go ahead, Brian.
I mean, I love Pearl as well, but I would give Peridot, Connie, Spinel, like I think they're all excellent characters that have really I love the show so much. I miss it a lot. Least favorite is tough.
I'll throw out some thoughts. Like during early season, not even early, but around the time of season 1, I was keeping up a pretty consistent favorite characters list. And at that time, I think I would have at the bottom of my list Dr. Maheshwaran, simply based off of the fact that especially when you're first meeting her, you get the vibe of gosh, this is a dangerous parent. I'm uncomfortable with a lot of the things she says, how she makes Connie feel, etc. But even by the end of the show, she feels a lot more well-rounded. I quite enjoy her humor come the end. I don't know, it's tough. Back to you, Brian.
Oh gosh, I mean, you basically just named the character that came to be really her episode in Future. I think is great. I mean, obviously everyone loves that. Well, I don't know if everyone loves that episode, but I think it's a great episode. Gosh, I don't know. I think I have more affinity for the Beach City humans than most. I feel like everyone is thinking, say Ronaldo or whatever, but sure, I guess. I don't think they tend to have enough of an obstructive presence that I'm ever truly annoyed with them, with occasional exception. But I mean. Yeah. I think wait, the you know what, I thought of one and then I lost it.
Jamie's a sweetie. I don't like his first main episode, Love Letters, but
that's why I'm gonna say Jamie, because I don't even dislike him. I think he was better after, but I don't think there was ever a moment where I like the play episode fine, but I don't think I've ever seen a moment where I'm you really added something. Whereas Ronaldo in the full disclosure episode, I think has a really nice moment with Steven. But Jamie, I can't think of anything.
Ronaldo's first big episode, Keep Beach City Weird. I found endlessly fascinating creating a character who wants nothing more in the world to be Steven.
Yeah.
And I when at that point in watching the show, when that was new, I was like, oh gosh, they're so gonna turn him into a villain. he's gonna team up with Peridot, and they're gonna do evil, nerdy things together. Because Ronaldo had like a legitimate motivation of like Steven was born with everything he could ever want. So I was like, they'll dig into this. They didn't, but
yeah.
I don't know, but also comedy done right is spectacular. Like
Yes.
one of his last big things was at the start of Can't Go Back, where like he discovers the movies, and it's like knockout joke after knockout joke. It just depends who's writing him, I suppose. But like, there's not any character that like will come on screen. I'm like, no.
I think I feel like Marty, when he was older and came back, was a little bit of a missed opportunity just because I liked him and I thought there was so much potential in stories for Steven. But again, I don't want to dwell too much on the negative. There's so many characters that I love from Steven Universe that it's a wonderful show. Yeah.
I haven't watched the show in so long, so I probably forgot at least half of the cast.
Oh my god.
I'll name them all in alphabetical order, starting right now. Number 1, Alexandrite. Number 2, and Steven.
Good.
Oh god, no.
Continue. Anyway.
Yes.
The Queen hasn't watched any Steven Universe like at all, so she can't answer the question.
Gasp.
What do you mean, gasp?
What?
I thought you did, like at least an episode or two.
No, I haven't.
Well,
Okay.
If you'd like, we could build you a full recommendation list for if you didn't want to go through the entire show.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll fully prep the viewing experience for you. Although, of course, I admit that I think watching all episodes in order and in intended order, not the silly order that they aired the episodes in, is absolutely preferred. But who am I to say, really?
Yeah, Justin, can you whip up a quick list of all the episodes with Andy DeMeo? Because I think those are the ones you need to see. If you want to get the new ones.
Gem Harvest, and then Steven's Dream. Those are like his like 2 speaking role episodes.
Oh,
He pops up in what, like Reunited? But like,
yeah, well, Reunited by far the least important of the episodes you mentioned. So I think you can skip that one.
Andy DeMeo, what a sweetheart.
Oh no.
Queen is only confused listening to you guys talk about this.
Good. All right, well, I mean,
We're just fans. That's it.
For those in the audience, Andy DeMeo is Steven Universe's slightly problematic uncle.
slightly.
Hashtag not clickbait.
Shows up for the first time in their pseudo-somewhat-ish Thanksgiving-esque episode. And it really builds the feeling of, oh yeah, you're meeting up with your family who has different views on the world.
Yeah, and it came out at a very specific time for when Thanksgiving dinners were especially awkward.
Like a certain election year.
Yeah, I also like how you put 3 asterisks on it being Thanksgiving, where I'm sure Cartoon Network was just like, can you make a Thanksgiving episode? And they were like, well, we have to like be a little bit more clever about it than that. I was like, well, just make a Thanksgiving episode. I'm like, okay.
Huh.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, with that question out of the way, we will start with our game.
Yes,
wow.
we are going to do a game that I'm pretty sure you're all familiar with. I mean, I've played it before. We know that you've played it before. AD, you just exist. I don't know if you've actually played it.
Oh yeah, I
You did. Okay, so we are going to be playing Talking Points on Jackbox.
Oh,
Golly, here we go.
Okay.
So,
I decided to pick this one since it'd be a little reference since y'all did a video about this.
Well, we did it because we love playing it so much. So this is fun.
yeah.
I'm
All right, Quicks.
absolutely in. It's rare that I play as myself because I'm just starting into the habit of like, oh, this game is easier when I don't have to embarrass myself. I can embarrass one of my characters instead. And I'll do that like off recording as well, of course.
Well, that's
yeah, I'm down to dig in. What was that?
I just said that's nice to know.
Little fun tidbits.
Right, Quicks. Just put the code in the private chat so that way.
Yeah, I will.
7,000
My
people.
laptop's being a pain in the butt right now and going.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It's just being incredibly slow, which is just. Why do you have to be slow now?
It's becoming a snail.
I don't know how to speak.
All right. While this is loading, Brian, feel free to ask our hosts a question. Go ahead.
Oh, all right.
Well, maybe you decide to
okay.
make the show. There you go. There's your question.
Oh, wait,
what's the
what was it
question?
again?
I said, what made you decide to make this wonderful show? What's my question?
Oh, all right.
AD
That's a
did
simple
that,
question.
not me. So AD, you got the stage.
Well, a while ago, there was a friend of mine, Andy Duffy. He created his own type of podcast, and I'm like, wow, this looks interesting. And afterwards, I heard, I think this was like months ago, Rebecca Sugar did one with like the SU crew.
Sure, yeah.
And after thinking about it, I'm like, wait, I should probably do one. So I was thinking of a title. I'm like, how am I going to do this? So I was thinking, wait, AD, and AD means advertisement. So I'll do AD's advertisements. And boom, it was born.
Yay.
Heck yeah, love that.
I
And
don't
Brian,
have a podcast.
Well, yes, but I think you are arguably the true founding member, right? Right?
Am I?
Well,
I mean, you did appear in 3 episodes, Quicks.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes. There you go.
Basically
Okay,
saved the show.
Yay! I'm a hero for once somehow.
The queen did something.
That's not that.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, I put the code in for all of y'all.
All right, perfect.
And then we'll get this game rolling. And by the way, chat, you're not allowed in this. It's just gonna be us, so we're not gonna tell you all the code. The code is 6666, obviously. I mean, what?
What?
Oh no! What a
believe it.
code! Anyway, Quicksand. Once we're all in, I'll let you share your screen.
Great.
Yeah, right now we're
Let's see, what
missing.
photo will
We're
I be
missing
picking?
Brian. Come on, Brian.
I'm coming in. I'm coming in. There we go.
All right, great. All right, now we can start this.
Let's see, what photo will it be? I'll be balloon animal. Screw it.
Welcome to the Talking Points. Talking Points. Talking Points. That's the Talking Points theme song, if anyone's wondering.
Oh, it is.
There was a theme song?
There we go. Now I can see the screen.
I was not aware of that.
Now we could all appreciate the
right,
VBGT, not something else.
So
All right, let's
close.
begin.
So close yet so far, but whatever. All right.
And yet so far. The Talking Points. Okay, this is the best part of the game where you create 3 titles to
Yes.
make other people's prompts. I would do this part of the game all day.
I mean,
Oh my god.
this part is great. And I'm already struggling with my first title. That we're off to a really good start on this.
I got a good one here. There's that. Now, I just want to clarify to all the viewers at home that we're being very funny right now. You just can't see it. Not
yes,
yet.
we are being a bunch of highly professional idiots being funny. Or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if we're highly professional idiots, but yeah. Well, AD is, but yeah.
There we go. All right, I just finished being funny.
Sorry about the wait, folks.
And submit. Yeah, Brian, how's it feel to be done being funny for the rest of your life? You could officially retire now.
Okay, I'm done being funny.
Yeah, I feel like I've never been funny, so.
But you have been numerous times. What do you mean?
I can name at least 3 times I've laughed while you were also in the room.
That's really nice. Oh my goodness. All of these are really rough. Let's see. Oh gosh.
Oh my god, I know exactly what I'm gonna do for mine. We are going to reach the peak of comedy tonight, gamers. We're making history. I don't know why I said gamers. Also, I can skip this because we all know how this is
Let's get
working.
into it. I'm gonna be assisting AD on this one. Get hyped.
Oh, look at that.
All right, let's do this.
Yeah.
Let me begin. Hello there. My name is AD, and my talk is science is wrong. The human body is powered by the little kid cartoon personifications of thoughts.
Personification.
What?
Personifications.
Oh, personifications of thoughts. Well, as you can see, science lied to me. I was doing some research about cartoons, and apparently robots can shoot lasers, and I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They shot Earth. Space is just time and illusion at the same time. The eggs from II, they came to life. They built their own giant robot, and they just conquered the whole world. It was a disaster, a tragedy, and there was no way of stopping them.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what most people fail to understand.
Nothing.
Oh,
People fail to understand that they don't have teeth. So how are they supposed to brush? Where's the brush? Where's the toothpaste? Nothing makes sense. Nothing in cartoons makes sense. That's why logic and reality itself is just endless. It makes no sense. It just has no understanding to it. And normally I would say this is odd, but wait, where's the person's hand? They're just mysteriously floating the toothbrush.
No.
Oh my god, you're
This,
right.
my friends, is what I call real life cartoons. But burn this image into your memory. Trust me, I wish I did too.
Bold of you to assume I even have a memory.
You see this? This is just another reason why cartoons came to life. Hotel OJ was into a flood ever since OJ left to compete in season 3.
right.
It was a terrible disaster, and he left Paper in charge, but then he accidentally flooded everything. It was a terrible disaster, and the hotel was just another mess. OJ will be devastated when he finds this out. And trust me, I'm not sure if he'll be disappointed. But thank you.
That was beautiful.
Wow.
10 out of 10 would listen to again.
Well, luckily you can with the YouTube rewind.
Yay!
YouTube rewind.
Oh, no.
I meant to say rewind,
I
but you know.
Pretty sure
Oh,
you meant
wow, so
rewind
many
button.
votes.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, that was beautiful. Oh my
That's
God.
Yes, slurping up those points.
Oh yeah, I got a comment about it.
Yay.
Okay, there we go. Did more funnies.
More funny.
Ryan, you're up.
Oh no. This is really bad news, everybody. This is really bad news.
It's gonna be even more bad news that I'm assisting you.
Yeah, I bet it will be. All right. Well, first off, for anyone who doesn't know, hello. My name is Brian, and my talk is better than him. Albert Einstein was smart, but I'm psychotic. Now, you may be wondering, what does that even mean? Well, I'm here to tell you exactly what it means. You see, a normal person, when they speak through a megaphone, which, as we all know, Albert Einstein invented in the year 8, they just have a normal head, and they use it, and they're loud. But when I speak and project my voice, I become a dinosaur, but only in my head. Because I have very flighty, imaginative thoughts, and they just take me back to prehistoric times when dinosaurs ruled the earth, a better time for the world. Now, here's the thing. What I've said so far is pretty predictable. Let's not go there. But this next part will surprise you. Okay, so let's see. This is actually a picture of, I'm going to point him out right here. This is Einstein right here. Now Einstein.
Get wrecked, Einstein.
And the thing is, I will use a different color. This is me. I'm a little psychotic. And I wanted to just show Einstein who's boss in the zone of inventing things. So I took some flour, which I invented, and threw it right in his face. Now you might be asking, what can I do? I'm not you. I'm more like Einstein, the idiot loser. First, please stop yelling. Second, now, the best thing since sliced bread is all of the stuff that I've managed to invent in my very successful lifetime. And keep in mind, now sliced bread, it's pretty nice, but I think we've had a lot of better things since. I actually have never really cared for the phrase of best thing since sliced bread. And you know who made up that phrase? Albert Einstein!
No.
He's done nothing right. He's, in fact, just like made the world a worse place. And thank you for listening and learning the truth.
Oh my God, Albert Einstein, you've been so cruel to the world in 8.
That was amazing.
Yeah, sorry about the ups and downs, Brian.
Oh God.
What the heck?
Oh
was
no, the
that?
ratings are going off the charts.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
I'm
That was
glad. I had
beautiful.
no idea what I was gonna do. So
I just, I don't know what the pictures were that I chose, but I'm so glad I chose them.
I'm. So am I. I gave you a big smiley face for yours.
I'm very happy with Brian.
Yay!
I look forward to the quote.
Oh my gosh. I'm like crying. 'cause I'm
All
laughing.
right.
All right, Quicksand, let's go. The
Give
dream
it up.
team.
Yeah, let's do this. Alrighty. Hello, my name is Quicksand114, and my talk is Blast! My nefarious plan has been foiled, and all because of Perry the Platypus! You see, I had a plan where I was going to raid the animation headquarters with my car right here, but then Perry put this stupid pole in front of my driving area, and I crashed right into it, and I'm like, God freaking damn it, this is a tragedy. Why would this happen? I was going to find out all the secrets of Inanimate Insanity. I was going to leak the script of episode 2 of Inanimate Insanity Invitational,
Oh,
and now
no.
Larry the Platypus has ruined it.
Oh, thanks, Barry.
Drats. The worst part was when this monkey right here saw all of it go down, and then he came to supposedly help me and fix my car, but
He won
instead
bananas.
he kidnapped me and took me to his tree hideout home thing, and I was like, I don't have time for this. I just want my animation. I just
Agent
want
M.
I just want to see what's going on with Inanimate Insanity, for crying out loud. Why are you doing this to me, monkey? You know what? You can just... There you go. That's much better.
Whoa.
Don't underestimate me. For you are unprepared for my next plan.
Oh.
Because there's no way that Perry the Platypus is going to be able to take my money to get an army of goats or whatever the heck that animal is. I can't think right now because I'm still just pissed off about all this. But anyways, there's no way that Perry is going to steal my money to stop my goat army. And the goat army is going to storm into the animation headquarters.
No.
And we're going to get Inanimate Insanity leaked. All right. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Oh,
Curse me,
wow.
Perry the Platypus.
Barry the Platypus. Wow.
Don't even go to puss.
Oh my god.
That's 2 of my stupid presentations.
Oh
that
my
have been
God.
used. Hooray.
Bro.
I don't even know what I did. Oh my god.
I'm going to write Agent G. You betrayed Alpha.
Booty, 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 booty.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Let's see how this
Oh,
turns
my life
out.
was ruined already. I was so young. I was like 10 or something.
I'm sorry.
All right. Enough of the monkey business.
Yes.
Monkey
Hello,
business.
my name is Justin. Is me. And my talk is... I will now describe the full plot of the action-packed screenplay I have written, entitled Inanimate Insanity, Episode 5. The Stacker. Starts with a rocket launch. Kaboom! You think Nico was cool before? He's going to the moon this episode, baby! Yeah, this is a bit of a prequel to the Mars episode. We're going to space. It's gonna be legit. Yeah, I know. There's an old episode, but this is the Justin cut of the Stacker, in which we are stacking the moons.
Yeah.
You better believe that it's going to be action packed. But hold on. You weren't expecting this shocking plot twist, were ya? Boom!
Oh no!
Yeah, this episode has aliens too. We got the alien cockroach buggy monsters from space who are ready to infect all the objects. You thought the objects were cool before, but guess what? They're gonna get scales and antenna immediately. How's this going to affect the elimination order? Well, you better believe that Balloon might make it one episode further.
Oh.
Oh,
It's going to have its mind heckin' blown. The final scene will blow your friggin' mind. Kaboom! The clouds come to life. You thought the floor was
oh
interesting?
my god!
How about a cloud that eats planets?
Oh no!
Get heckin' hyped for the serene moment in which Yin Yang goes up against the gods. You may be wondering, why is Yin Yang in season 1? Who the heck cares? It's mine! Who the heck? Do what I want! Thank you.
Oh my god, Justin,
Oh
that
my
was
gosh.
beautiful.
That was great.
Bravo.
Now-
Bravo.
Now,
Don't
the
worry, guys. This
cloud,
wasn't II-15 leaked.
As you see in episode 5, the stacker, the cut that was released to the public, there is a brief cloud in the beginning that's sentient, and it's around the time when there's some bad luck. And this was the original climax, which would be a huge storm cloud threatening the
Bigger
tangle.
cloud.
Yes.
All right, Brian. Smiley face.
Oh, yay for me.
Yeah. Oh, my
Oh!
gosh.
Whoa!
Look at that. Mm.
The ratings are off the roof.
Oh my god, the ratings.
The ratings are
Consider
off the
them
roof.
raised.
They're not even just through the roof. They went off of the roof. Wow.
No,
Like
they're in the,
Quicksand
they're,
said,
they're
consider
in the
them
clouds.
raised.
They're in the clouds that Justin was just showing us.
That's one of my favorite
They're
things
battling the
that
clouds.
Consider
my
them
favorite.
raised.
It's one of my favorite things that I've thrown into an episode. Like when you hear the third time of the consider them raised faintly in the background that the platform's raising.
Yay, the mind.
Oh my goodness. Like Back to the Future reference.
I like the monkey.
I like the monkey.
Cloudy versus Yin Yang.
Versus
The ultimate
Yin Yang. Yeah, I
crossover.
guess we're all in the same mind, huh?
We were.
I think so. Okay, let's
Oh.
go to the awards ceremony.
Elimination times. Woo!
Alrighty, here we go. I have no idea which one to give my reward to. All of these were comedy golds.
Yeah, they were really good.
Okay, my winner of TED Talk Battle Royale is gonna be you.
Wow.
Me?
Imagine it's non-existing.
The
The Battle of the
That's pretty nice.
The
The
funny,
Funny people award.
Yay!
The funny
The Funny award.
Very different. Yay!
Hotel Orchard never
Oh,
said it.
no.
Okay, that was pointless.
Oh, we all got an award.
Yay! I
Oh, yeah,
won!
Quicksand, you won.
Wow. You can tell some millennials ran this game.
I was thinking in terms of like, oh, it's BFB 30 all over again, just giving prizes willy nilly.
It's BFB all over.
How dare they make an
Oh, no.
episode where it's just 40 minutes of people showing how much they care about each other? I hate the world.
All right, well, that was the game, guys.
Oh my
Hope you
God.
enjoyed that.
that was amazing.
That was very
I
fun.
had a
I'll never
blast.
forget year 8.
Oh my
Truly
God.
remarkable.
I had way too much fun.
Oh boy.
Alrighty, so now me and Quicksand will be asking you guys questions.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
The interrogation begins, Brian. Don't crack. Don't tell him anything.
It's okay,
Alright.
AD. We're gonna make sure that they leak some stuff about II.
What?
Just a
Oh
little.
no.
Just a huge amount of information that's leaked illegally.
Quicksand.
Acutely.
How are we gonna do this then? All right, you know what? Let me just get Quicksand's Quicksand and we'll just throw them in there.
Wait, no, that's only my idea. Wait, AD, no.
I'm kidding. I'm
Only
kidding.
I'm allowed to do that, not you.
You're taking Quicksand? Excuse me?
Don't
Oh
worry
yeah, so
about
basically
it.
her phrase. Her
AD,
phrase is.
they're not supposed to know about this.
All right. Well, anyway.
What?
Okay,
Oh, okay.
okay, so we're gonna get to the questions now.
Yes.
Tell me later. Tell
Quicksand.
me after the show. Tell me after the show.
All right. All right. Well, anyway, Quicksand, since you're the new co-host for today's episode, I'll let you ask your questions for both of them.
Alrighty, great. All right, so my first question for you guys: what episode of Inanimate Insanity are you most proud of?
Oh, wow.
14.
I mean, we have the same answer, Justin. So
14, yeah. I mean, I adore 14. I think it's a story that I've been wanting to tell for a really long time. I love the stories that come out of it, especially for Fan and Test Tube, for Microphone and Taco.
Yeah.
It's one of the episodes that I like. There's no scene that I'm like upon rewatch like feeling like I'm losing too much in the terms of pacing. I think there's like a slow bit when some characters are trying to just kind of figure things out. That need that for the flow. I love rewatching 14, but I'll say that all four most recent season 2 episodes are like in that realm of like I'm something about them makes me very happy.
Yes. No, we're very much of the same mind on this. Like everything from particularly season 2, episode 11 onwards is just really, it's the show kind of hit a turning point, and we're just really proud of each one, like paying off the stories that we had been wanting to tell for such a long time. And I just really enjoy writing for that ensemble, and I'll truly miss each of them as they go. And yeah, like it's a lot that then we had to accomplish in each, so it was a lot of them rewriting and making sure that everyone was as good as it could possibly be, and trying to not waste a single frame, give everything the attention and significance that it deserves. And I'm excited for it to continue. Yeah, episode 14, pretty special.
Yeah. AD, you want to ask your question now?
Yeah, I'll go. All right, so for the both of you, this is just a simple voice acting question. How hard, let's say, if you have more than one character that you've voiced before, how hard is it to voice that character, whether if it's fan or knife or etc.?
Oh, I mean, Justin is the real voice acting pro here. But I would myself just say, I think it just comes, it like the practice is really the most important part, right? Because like with me starting, I guess Me Phone 4S was the first like main recurring character that then I brought a voice to, which I wasn't, when I suggested the idea of the character, that was not one that I was intending to actually voice. It was purely just, I wanted to do a Terminator riff and no one else could do it. So I was like, well, if we want it to be that, I guess I'm going to have to figure out how to do the voice. So it was just me listening to a bunch of Arnold Schwarzenegger clips and really practicing and hearing myself and then trying to do it as much as possible so it could be something halfway decent or passable or ideally funny. Whereas fan, I think, really grew over time. And the more I kind of leaned into the frenetic side of the character, that just is really, he definitely has a neurotic side to him, and he's just trying, he's so happy to be there. He's very excited to be a part of this show that he looks up to so much. But yes, and there's some insecurities surrounding that as well. It's like, does he belong? Does he belong? Does he truly deserve to be on this show that he cares about so much? And sort of just leaning into that, and having an entry word or an entry phrase is also helpful. For fan, it's simply the name Test Tube. That's how I could just say that, and I'm right in the voice, But Justin, please give your professional advice.
I wanted to just clarify to make sure that I'm completely getting what you're asking. Just the difficulties in voice acting in a general sense, or creating the voice. What specifically are you interested in? To AED.
Oh, to me. Well, wait, hold on. Repeat the question again.
It's mostly asking for the question again, for clarity.
Just which part of
okay.
voicing?
Basically, it's just what was like the hardest thing about voice acting for a character that you've had, like Knife or Purple
Got
Face
it.
or any other character?
Just hardest thing in general. Yeah. I have a historic thing with consistency. I think is something that's notable because it's you find different grooves of a character, especially if it's a more out there type of voice. I guess this speaks a little less to characters who speak with a more natural and authentic voice, but like you'll go through like how Knife and Paper have changed over the 10 years, and there is something quite noticeable there. And at this point, I think I'm pretty settled into both of them. Knife has been consistent for a long time. Paper is more of I'd say there's a difficulty in my voice has gotten a little bit deeper in the last 10 years. So getting to that same register it hasn't been as easy as it used to, because it used to be the most natural thing in the world, and now it just takes a little bit of effort. It's not tremendous, but consistency is a big deal. I guess I could go down the list because there's not too many, but I mean, like, Meepad is the closest I have to my natural voice, but that one I have a base to go off of. I'll never not want to be doing the voice that was set up for me before I took over the parts. There's that baseline there, so there's at least something to jump back to, as opposed to the phrase Xanax, yeah, where like and BoJack-ish, but where like if you're copying from a copy as opposed to from copying from an original, it's going to deteriorate over time. Something in that realm. Not to say that any voices are deteriorating. I'm just more in terms of I'm always working off of like what my most recent performance and building off of that instead of going to a source and saying let's try to make sure I'm keeping consistent with how Paper and Knife sounded in 2011. And there's Goo and Silver Spoon, where I'm still learning the voices a little bit. I think because I have more experience in voice acting now than I did 10 years ago, they are voices that were already sort of in my wheelhouse. It's just properly clicking them in with a new character personality. But it's the exploration of the little tweaks that you can make to make a voice really click in with a character that I find both occasionally difficult, but on the whole, very exciting.
Spoken like a true pro. I think you meant Xerox earlier, but yes.
What did I say?
You said Xanax.
I mean, I heard that too.
I just
but
realized that.
I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah,
If I
exactly.
say something dumb, feel free to call me.
Because I'm like, oh no, he's sounding too professional. If he messes up, I'm just gonna let them speak.
A professional, very rambly discussion.
As I said earlier, we're a bunch of highly professional idiots.
That's the spirit.
Well, I mean, maybe you're professional.
Okay.
Voice acting is like the heart of everything for me. That's the kind of thing that'll just be like, I have some spare time alone. Okay, I'm practicing new potential voices that I'll probably never use for anything. But widening range. That's like one of my favorite things to do, even just as a spare time measure. Voice acting, awesome.
Yeah.
So
No, I have to agree with that.
Quick
Because
side
like
note,
I've voice acted for like about a good 3 years now. Because I have voice acted in a bunch of previous projects that I helped with my friends with. But yeah, voice acting is a lot of fun. I remember when I first started out, I didn't really know, but then now I can do like a bunch of impressions of like characters you see in BFB or
Can you do
II.
your blocky voice?
Now, okay.
Yes.
Let's see. Hey guys, for prank.
Wow.
That's pretty spot on. That's awesome.
That's impressive.
I whenever people ask me about voice acting tips, one thing that I go to pretty quickly is legit. If you're watching TV, mimic the characters. Not to say that every performance you need to do has to be a copy of something, but if you're watching a show and you really like a performance, whether it be the voice or the acting or both, it's the same way as when you're an artist who traces drawings. You got to just repeat, and from there you could figure out what you like, what you don't like, how your own voice works, what weird things you can do yourself, and also build your own acting repertoire. Because it is also good to have your own voices on the side, and maybe they are very much, this is what my voice sounds like when I try to do this character's voice, but since it's my voice, it sounds different and it's mine. That's a good starting place. Granted, in the case of Blocky, that is a pretty one-to-one with another character, because I'm terrible with most character impressions. So when I try to mimic one character, my initial paper audition, and this is a memory I unlocked fairly recently because I was doing II3 auditions, but I forgot that when I initially auditioned for paper, it was my BFDI pencil impression to some degree, which sounds nothing like pencil if you watch the old video audition that still exists on YouTube. But it's still me trying to get that energy, and I guess my mindset was paper goes with pencil, right?
Oh my gosh.
But again, paper's probably the voice that's changed the most for me out of all the ones that I've done, because it went from a voice that's like one of the audition lines was I had a nightmare once where I fall into a shredder. That was the voice. Now if I performed that, it would be more like, oh, guys, I had a nightmare once where I fall into a shredder. Like, I mean,
Oh, poor paper.
Oh my gosh.
You want to hear my 4 impression?
let's hear the
Oh, I'm curious now.
Oh no. What am I doing in my own mind? I gotta get out of here. There you go.
That's pretty good.
Do you want to hear my teardrop impression?
Yeah,
Oh
go
my
for it.
gosh,
Please.
that's exciting. Let's do it.
It's
you want to hear
beautiful.
it again?
It was so accurate.
I mean,
I have no words.
Okay, like I am like a voice actress. Obviously, I do voice in numerous object shows before, and I've been trying to, over the last year or so, I've been trying to expand my voice work, because normally whenever I get hired for a show to voice in, people just say, "Oh yeah, do your normal voice." I'm not doing that anymore because I'm trying to expand on the voices that I'm capable of. I'm trying to see what my vocal cords are able to do. And now I do numerous different voices, and I continue to do that to this day, because voice acting is definitely one of my favorite things to do in the OSC.
That is a very, very smart way to go about it and exploring your range. When I first started voice acting, the last thing in the world I wanted to do was perform with my natural voice, not because I was looking to expand my range, which I guess was probably a side note at the time. But at the time, it was more about I just didn't like the sound of my natural voice. So it was a goal of mine to avoid that and explore like what the gruffest I could sound, the cutest I could sound. But nowadays I'm a little I've become a lot more open to it, because it's just another form of expression. I was talking, there's a conversation I was having yesterday about Gelatin being voiced by Ian now, and how expressive and strong that performance is. I love Ian's performance.
Oh, it's great.
Ian does a
He did
fantastic
good.
job
It
with
became like
Jonathan.
say again.
He does a fantastic job voicing Jonathan.
And there's the thought process of like the power of a natural voice performance is so different than a character voice performance, because people will buy into a natural voice getting angry and sounding like this. But if I start as Knife and I wanted him to have a higher pitched voice, it doesn't sound like Knife anymore. So the natural voice definitely has the advantage of being able to explore a lot more range without breaking the character. And that all came back to Gelatin doing that quite a bit in the BFB 30 finale, especially like when having a big talk with 4. Like it was very expressive, very emotive. But it is fun to be able to explore natural voice and character voice in very different ways.
He has to sell so many bigs, but yeah, no, he did an amazing job just in general, but like in that finale, he has a lot of heavy lifting to do and totally pulls it off. I always go back to speak to the point about a voice that remains distinct even when it has like different pitches and stuff. I go back to Tom Kenny as SpongeBob, right? Because even when you know his, like when SpongeBob does like his deeper voice or like his hydrodynamically does it, like, you know, like it's a consistent thing of even if it sounds completely different, you know, like it's always
Right.
the same different weird thing, and it is SpongeBob. Yeah.
But Tom Kenny's wonderful for being able to do so many different characters without me realizing it's Tom Kenny, and I'm always jealous of that. Like I don't know, like and this might get into venti brain area, but like I hope it comes across as more educational because it's just a thought process. Because Goo, Silver Spoon, both new characters. Goo hasn't really been compared to other voices I've done in the past, but Silver Spoon I've gotten. He sounds like Purple Face. He sounds like Rusty Coin. He sounds like Paper when he screams. And like, but like, and I was okay with all of those. Not excited because I do like to kind of disguise my voice as best as possible for a new role. The one thing that did get to me, and just to be frank about this, is someone making the comment in a video review. And might I know, I don't remember who this is, and if they happen to be watching this, it's a great video overall. But just the one thing I'm like, oh dang it, was someone's. And this is an interesting thought because I don't even know how to exactly mentally explore this, but someone saying that Silver Spoon's voice just didn't click with them as the character. I'm like, dang it, that's the brutal blow. That's if someone doesn't buy they didn't really go into it. I wish they went into it more. Like if it's like the personality that they think Silver Spoon is supposed to have didn't fit with the voice, or it's just like the design of the character shouldn't have that voice. I'm not sure. And it's those kinds of comments that you think about for a while, and you want to explore that a little bit more, and like figure out why people think that way, and then how to improve based off of that.
I mean, I've definitely had that happen before, where people say that I don't fit a character, which I mean, yeah, that's definitely like I can definitely see it myself in the past, and I try to improve upon it, see what I can do differently.
Right.
Like, do I want to like, I don't know, change the pitch of the character? Should I like, I don't know, give them some sort of quirk in their voice, or like what can I do with this voice to make it really get the character in the character?
Right.
And voice acting is a very complicated process.
Yes. Yeah.
But rewarding.
And we've received plenty of like positive reception, of course. But yeah, I mean, like when you get something like that, it's hard. You know, you dwell on it a little bit. But that is to say, just I mean, I think by all means, you have done a fantastic job across.
Thank you so much. I'll put out all those auditions at some point. That this just reminded me that I've been meaning to. The same way that I put out my audition video for season 1 way back in the day. I'll remake it in the same like clip arty style.
I'm excited for more Silver Spoon coming your way pretty soon.
I like Silver Spoon. I think Silver Spoon's fun. There's one line that someone wrote. I guess I won't reveal who wrote this episode, but the primary writer of the episode did such a striking Silver Spoon.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about.
That I can't help but laugh at. But striking is definitely the right word. Look for it episode 2.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so for this part, I was going to let the chat ask questions. However, I decided to add a new twist to this. Instead of me and Quicksand asking questions, do you two have any questions for us?
Us two, me and
Yes.
Justin. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Way to put us on the spot. Let's think.
Jeez, AD, how can you do this to our guests?
This is really.
Well, I mean, they are the guests. Might as well give them the spotlight.
Well, what in terms of we were talking about origin points for this show beginning. I'm always curious to hear about like getting into the OSC in the first place and sort of where that like how that came about. Yeah.
So like how we found the OSC, basically like
yeah.
All right, I'll go first. I've shared this story before, and I'm gonna share it again. So. This is a bit of a complicated one, but essentially the way it all started was because of Club Penguin.
Oh, great.
You all remember that game, right?
Of course.
Yes, I was a Club Penguin player back then. Rest in peace, Club Penguin. Okay, but anyways,
Hmm.
so since I loved Club Penguin so much, I would watch a lot of Club Penguin content on YouTube. And there was this one YouTuber that I watched, and they began making this series called Total Drama Club Penguin, and I freaking
Right.
fell in love with it.
Right.
And the thing is, I didn't realize that it was inspired by the original Total Drama series.
Right.
But like eventually I did learn that Total Drama was a real show. So I gave it a watch and I immediately fell in love with that. And I still freaking love Total Drama to this day. We don't talk about the spinoff that's going on right now. But anyways, okay, so a couple of years go by after stumbling upon Total Drama, and again I was on YouTube watching it because I didn't know that it was on TV. I legitimately thought it was only available on YouTube.
Sure.
But so again I stumble upon another YouTuber, and they made like, I don't know, it was like a Total Drama Island their way video or whatever. And I looked at their channel, and they also made content involving BFDI and Inanimate Insanity. And I'm like, what the hell is this show? Is this like a child for preschoolers?
Yes.
But I decided to give it a look anyway. And BFDI, I immediately fell in love with after watching like, I don't know, probably the first 3 episodes. I was just like, okay, this is my new thing. This is what I'm going to do for the next rest of my life.
Mhm.
And eventually I began watching other object shows, and I didn't really engage with the community until 2016. That was when I started, well, that was when I played in a couple of camps. Then I joined a bunch of Discord servers and started really getting involved with like what the community was doing and all that. And now here I am as a podcast co-host with AD, who is a dingus, and I have a bunch of friends who are also dinguses, and we have myself, who is also a dingus, and
Oh,
everybody's a dingus.
that's such a sweet story.
Yay. All right, AD, you want to share yours?
All right, after this, then I guess we can end it off here. So for my answer, it's kind of simple, really. I think I was like 9 or 8 at the time. Oh, it's been a while. But I was just watching like a random, what's it called, a race car thing or a marble race, and I stumbled upon Inanimate Insanity before BFDI, really. I remember it was season 2, either season 2, episode 6 or 7. I remember. Yeah, episode 7, the one with Hotel OJ. I'm like,
Oh,
whoa,
yeah.
this seems awesome.
Mm.
So then after watching it, I decided to watch more and more, and I got interested. I'm like, when's the next episode? And then I realized, oh, it takes time.
Yes, it takes time.
And then afterwards, I decided to watch some BFDI, got to like that more, and then about a year later, I created my own show. It started out bad, kind of is now, but we're improving.
Now it's awesome.
Yeah, we're improving, so that's kind of what that matters. But afterwards, before I created that, I started to get into voice acting as well. Took me 3 years to realize I can do a lot of impressions, and I did enjoy voice acting a lot. And really, both of you kind of inspired me to voice act.
Oh,
So
wow.
thanks.
Oh my
dang.
god. Nice. Inspiring anyone? Nonsense. We can't do that. But
Too late. You just
I
Very
guess.
flattering to hear.
very, very
And
flattering.
I'm glad you're getting out there. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad with how my work has put in from the projects that my voice has been in. So thanks.
Well, we always appreciate getting nice and introspective
Woo.
together. So I'm glad that we were able to do that just now. Yeah.
I can but hopefully we could get episodes out more often so that we're not scaring people off like in your story.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think we say in the video today that that we're looking at episodes once every 4 to 6 weeks. So
Oh, really?
Oh, wow. Okay.
4 to
That's
6 weeks.
a major difference instead of waiting a year.
It's an extremely big difference, and a lot of it comes down to just like a difference in approach of production. I mean, like this, it's been written already. I think most of the cast has recorded their lines.
We're waiting on one character to record, so we're pretty set on that. And audience
pretty
so
much
yeah, we have our monthly-ish schedule. I say ish as like a safety for us, but we are aiming for early each month.
That's nice.
But yeah, so and then season 2 will continue at the same pace, but now at least this gives us the kind of zone of like keep the channel alive. We get to constantly create art, which really, really excites us, while still being able to do exactly what we did want to do for the last 2 episodes of season 2 without rushing through, which was another option we had when when Adam was coming into a space where he could put a lot more time into the show.
Yeah.
And we're like, this is probably best of all worlds, and I'm very happy with where we are right now.
Right, because we didn't want to rush the story we had been telling with season 2 and just make sure it all like comes together in the way that it's meant to be. And I understand it's sort of when you announce a 3rd season before the 2nd season is done, it totally makes sense for people to be confused and be like, what? But so we tried to make it at least as much as possible clear right out of the gate that
but
is continuing.
That they're simultaneous as opposed to like it's not like we're skipping into the future for 3 or anything.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Well, anyways, it was a pleasure having you both here, and I hope you both enjoyed our stay.
Absolutely. It was an awesome time. Thank you for having us.
It was great having you guys here. We had a wonderful episode thanks to you two.
Oh, well, that means a lot. We look forward to doing this again sometime in the future. I mean,
I always aim to be in at least top 10 episodes.
I mean, I would think this is a top 10. We did.
Yay! And that's all I could ask for, because I know there's a lot of great guests.
The only good one is me. What are you talking about?
That's what I
Chris,
meant.
you've appeared for like 3 times,
you're
at least in season 1 and in this season.
Well, Quicks, are you a guest or are you the creator of the show? I thought you created the show from day one. Yeah.
No, that's me.
Okay, modest. I understand.
Oh my gosh.
Alrighty, guys.
Whatever she wants about herself.
All right. Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah. Oh no, it's a pleasure to have you guys here.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that was today's episode. Hope you all enjoyed. And I'll do a reference. Have an inanimate day.
Did you really just say that?
And please call it an inanimate day.
Yes. Do it.
Yep. And also, before we end this, Brian and Justin's channels will be in the link in the description if you guys want to, subscribe to them.
And definitely Animation Epic, because that's where
yes, them too.
Because that's where our time goes. At least my time goes. I know Brian has a lot more going on.
Yeah, that's technically where it comes from.
Yes, I did do a lot on my personal channel last year, but I've been very, very busy lately. So yes.
No, it's all right. So so both of their channels and the Inanimate Insanity channel of Animation Epic will also be in the link in the description, as well as their new video that they posted.
Oh, perfect.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Also, before we end this, sorry about this, but Andy will also be having his live stream tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Yay.
Yeah. We'll definitely see that. There you go.
Alrighty, guys. See you later.
See you.